The most important tip for learning Russian at home is this: exposure. Expose yourself as much as possible to Russian. This principle applies if you're studying Russian from home all by yourself or if you're studying Russian in a normal setting. But this rule is even more important if you're learning Russian by your own. Why so? Well, the thing is, you won't have a native speaker talking to you. You won't have other learners eager to have a chat with you. You're alone, all by yourself. Only you and your textbooks trapped in a room. So how do you get that exposure to Russian, which is needed to reach any kind of proficiency in Russian? Well, the answer isn't that simple and easy as many of you probably hoped. You have to invest hours looking for appropriate books, worksheets, podcasts, and so on. There isn't one app or one workbook that'll teach you everything you have to know. After you've found your material, you're ready to go. Or at least that's what you probably think. Many people start studying with the correct material, but then shortly after give up. How is that possible? Well, that is because if you study alone at home, there isn't anybody around you to motivate you. Nobody is there who will keep you accountable if you don't want to study. There are a couple of solutions to solve this issue. First of all, software. There is a ton of software out there that can help you in staying consistent. I would recommend some kind of a habit tracker. Once you have a streak of studying Russian for a couple of days straight, you won't want to lose this streak and you'll continue on. Of course, you have to be honest with yourself and actually admit it if you miss a day. The second important point here is that you have to find some way of assuring that you'll start a new streak once you've failed an old one. If you miss day 105 and you have to start all over again from day 1, that's absolutely demoralizing. To prevent you from not starting a new streak, I would highly encourage you to have a friend or a family member whom you write a weekly message. In this message, you tell them how your week was, how productive you were, if you continued your learning streak, and so on. Trust me, this will make starting a new streak way easier. The second point is drive. I know that this is extremely controversial, but let me argue my point here. First of all, don't mistake motivation with drive. Motivation is what you get when you watch a YouTube video and you feel inspired to start learning a new language or something along those lines. This feeling usually doesn't last long, and after a while you're back to your old self and you haven't learned a singular word of the new language you set out to conquer. So what is drive? Drive is when you truly want to do something. It comes from your inside and not from a random YouTube video. With drive, you can keep that streak going even on the days where your calendar tells you you don't have any time to revise vocabulary. Now the obvious question is, how can I find drive? And for that, I don't have an answer. But what I do know is that if you find drive to study a new language on your own, you'll easily manage.